Pick up a handful of sand. It runs through your fingers like nothing at all. It's the most ordinary thing on the beach. And yet, hidden inside that dull, gritty sand is the power to do something almost magical, to see. With this sand, you can build a lens that captures light, a telescope that finds distant galaxies, even an eye that lets a machine watch the world. Let me show you how we turn the ground beneath your feet into the gift of sight. First, what even is sand? Most sand is made of one simple thing, silica. The same material as quartz and glass, it's everywhere, cheap, dull, and lifeless. But silica has a secret. When you melt it and cool it the right way, it becomes perfectly clear. It becomes glass. So step one is heat. You take that gritty sand and you pour it into a furnace, hotter than a volcano, over 1500 degrees. The sand stops being grains and melts into a thick, glowing, honey-like liquid. Every speck of dirt that made it look dull burns away. What's left is something pure and see-through. But clear glass alone can't see. A flat window lets light pass straight through. To actually capture the world, you need to bend light, and that is the real magic trick. So step two. While the glass is still soft and molten, you shape it, you curve it, you make the middle thicker than the edges. And this gentle curve changes everything. Because of its shape, light no longer travels straight through it. The glass bends every ray of light and pulls them all together to meet at a single tiny point. This curved piece of glass has a name, a lens. And a lens is the heart of all seeing. Here's why it's so powerful. When light bounces off something in the world, a tree, a face, a star, it scatters everywhere, useless and jumbled. But a lens grabs that scattered light and focuses it. It takes the chaos of the world and squeezes it into one clean, sharp image. Hold a lens in the sunlight and it will gather the light into a dot, so concentrated it can burn paper. That's not heat you added, that's just sunlight, collected by a curved piece of melted sand. Now step three. You take that image the lens creates and you catch it. Place a surface right where the light comes together and the picture appears, perfectly in focus. Do this inside a small dark box, and you've just built a camera. The first machine that could freeze a moment of time forever. All thanks to sand. But we didn't stop there. Make the lens bigger and curve it more carefully, and it can gather light from impossibly far away. Point it at the night sky, and suddenly you can see the rings of Saturn, the craters of the moon, galaxies so distant their light is millions of years old. A telescope is just sand, melted and curved, aimed at the heavens. And then we made it small. We learned to grind lenses tiny and precise and place them in front of a sensor. Now that melted sand can act like an eye. It's the camera in your phone, the lens in a microscope that reveals a hidden world of living cells. The eye of a robot that can finally watch and understand the world around it. Think about that for a second. The same sand you'd brush off your feet without a thought is the reason we can see a single bacteria, and the reason we can see the edge of the universe. The very large and the very small, both unlocked by a curved drop of glass. And here's the part that stays with me. For most of history, humans could only see what was right in front of them. Then, we learned to melt sand and bend light, and suddenly our eyes could reach across the entire cosmos. We didn't grow better eyes, we built them. Out of the cheapest thing on earth. The alchemist wanted to turn sand into gold. But this is so much better. We turned sand into sight, into the power to look deeper into reality than any creature ever has. So the next time you stand on a beach, and that sand runs through your fingers, remember what it really is. Not just ground up rock, but the raw material of every photo you've ever taken, every star we've ever studied, and every machine that has ever opened its eyes. It was never just sand, it was vision, waiting for someone to give it shape. If this opened your eyes a little, subscribe. Because next, we're going to do something that sounds completely impossible. We're going to make bread real food you can eat, out of nothing but thin air.